G'day, guys. Welcome back to Steeler Nation Australia. So, apparently, going around the news today, Mike Tomlin said in a press conference, he was asked a question, will there be any changes to the coaching staff? And there was a blatant, big, fat no. No changes whatsoever. You know what? So, we have to ride with the coaches we have, and we all know who we're talking about, and that's the old Matt Canada. Now, let me bring up where is he? Let me bring up this dude. I want to do a live reaction, right? A live reaction to my mate, Mr. Canada. Now, I can't play the video, but I'm pretty sure I can play the audio. So it goes through about 3 or 4 minutes. We'll see how long we can survive listening to Matt Canada dribble. Now, I would also recommend, guys, chuck on closed caption or the subtitles. So you'll be able to hear his speech a lot better. You'll be able to see it, hopefully. All right. So, look, there's no changes. There's no changes, but the Matt Canada press conferences are beyond awful. Like they're as hard to listen to as they are to watch him play with the offense. Like let's start it up and we'll commentate along the way. So here's my live reaction to it. I've listened to about half a minute to a minute, and I'm already bored. All right, let's have a listen.
The touchdown, that's something that you have all
Also, it is very loud, so I'll just try and comment on what Matt Canada's saying.
season, or is that something you see?
We've actually had that for a long time, and we probably practiced
He's talking about the touchdown from Claypool.
it last year for a few weeks. Obviously, Chase left-handed, and then that's a formation we run on the goal line last year with a couple plays. I think Brown scored out of it, So
And remember, guys, he was very proud. He was very proud of this touchdown. And you should be proud of a touchdown. But getting all the way down into the end zone and you have to score like this in a gimmicky way, it doesn't set the high standard to what is a good offense. This Matt Canada offense is 32nd in the league. Do not forget that. Like with the skill players he has, from Pickens to Deontay to Muth to Najee Harris, right? All these skillful players. And you've got to score that way with a Canadian Chase Claypool left-handed throw to Derek Watt. I do like the play. I thought the play was fantastic. But relying on that all the time doesn't work. Doesn't work.
we had it kind of worked it a couple weeks this year, and felt like it was the time for it.
Kenny talked after the game about players needing to study more and improve themselves. And what's been your assessment of that? Is that something that you should share for us?
We've got to play better, and
I think the question was, talking about the offense, right? And Matt Canada's reaction straight away is, we're going to play better. You're damn right you have to play better.
whatever we have to do that, we cannot continue to make the mistakes that we've made and hurt ourselves.
See, to me, there are a lot of mistakes in the offense, big time. There's turning the ball over, there's running into brick walls, but ultimately, to me, it comes down to the play calling is just not imaginative.
I'll continue to stay, until it's fixed. It's me, but it's we've got, Kenny was just, he's speaking for himself. We got to play better. We got to get things off tape. We can't make the same mistakes over and over. And I think that's what he was probably speaking to.
I think the question was in regards to Kenny Pickett this week was saying, we're doing the same thing over and over and over and over, and we're expecting a different result. This Matt Canada playbook is beyond frustrating because it is the exact same thing every single week for the last 2 years, right? He hasn't scored more than 20 points this year. And I believe only once in 26 games he's scored more than 30. It comes down to coaching. Ultimately, comes down to coaching.
Is that one of those things where you guys have talked about needing more splash? And obviously, the defense is out there trying to keep you from having that splash. There's nobody keeping you from getting lined up right and doing that kind of stuff, right? So is that something that should be easier to get a hold of?
I think that's probably where, there's no excuse for it.
See the Matt Canada does not sound confident in his speech. And if you go and look at the video as well, if I get a chance, I will try and tag the video. His demeanor, every time he answers the question, he looks down, he shakes his head, he's like, what's going on? He's not confident in his speech. He's not confident in what he's selling. This is the problem, Steeler Nation. He is not confident at all delivering what he's saying, right? I used to work in a sales job for selling travel. If I wasn't confident, the buyer wouldn't buy from me. You have to be confident. And I'm not buying what he's selling right now. It's just beyond terrible.
Acceptable, and we've got to address it more, do a better job, whatever we got to do to let that happen. Those are things that shouldn't be happening at any point, let alone this point in the season. So yeah, we've got to correct it. We're working on it. We got to get it fixed.
How much is
You got to get it fixed. You got to get it fixed. You got to get it fixed. You've been saying you got to get it fixed for like 8 weeks now. This implementation of the offense should have been a lot better from the get-go. You know, the whole offseason to probably obviously should have started Kenny, in my opinion, too. If you're going to have Kenny now, you should have started Kenny from the start. Then they never gave Rudolph a real chance to play in this offense, right? I don't think even going out and acquiring Mitchell Trubisky was a good move right now. You think about it, do we even need Mitchell Trubisky? You've got Mason Rudolph who could be back up to Kenny Pickett. So many errors in this team from the get-go. You had all off-season to prepare your team to get ready to go in, at least be competitive, and you're still now vying at 2-6, saying we have a chance, we need to get better. It's almost I want to see some accountability. There is zero accountability from these coaching staff, and picking on Matt Canada, zero accountability from him.
that extra week help in terms of all of that, the corrections and
Here's the question. This question is, I didn't remember this one. This is how far I got. It says, would the extra week help in preparation?
fixing things?
I think like some of those things are fundamental things.
He goes, some of those things are fundamental. You get an extra week. You get an extra week to go into the playbook, and your reaction is, nah. Some of those things are fundamental. What's fundamental is your offense is the worst in the NFL. Averaging 14 points a game is not good enough. His answer is despicable.
Things that really, it's focus and talking about the extra week. The extra week's good to assess where we are and to kind of look at what.
Assess where you are. Assess where you are. See these words coming out of his mouth? They mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing. Mike Tomlin and the coaching staff and the Rooneys should have came out and fired this man weeks ago. But now you are stuck at a point where you have to ride out the season with him because it's only 9 games left. No matter what happens now, you probably can't get rid of Matt Canada, and it won't happen. You got to ride out the season and start fresh in the offseason. Fire him the day we finish the week 17. You fire him and you bring in someone else from another club. You go and pay someone big money. I don't even know who you would pay. You pay someone big money to come in and change the direction of the organization, because right now, this guy ain't good enough.
Things that have gone well and why those things that are a little bit off
Not many things have gone well.
here and there haven't gone well. Why have these plays that are almost to take all these, none of that matters. So I think it's been good to look at that and kind of figure out why.
He is beyond frustrating because he doesn't understand. To what I'm getting a sense of is the Matt Canada offense, the Matt Canada system. He doesn't understand the fact that things are actually wrong. Right? Fundamentally speaking, they can't run the football. They averaged 3.6 yards a carry averaging the football. They can't score points. My mate, Daniel J. from State of the Steelers, check him out on YouTube as well. He said to me the other day, they haven't scored a touchdown outside the red zone, right? Even when they get in the red zone, they can't score touchdowns. They're relying on field goals. Chris Boswell called this man out a few weeks ago and said, we didn't win because of you. The team is not a fan of this system, the implementation of this system. It is terrible. It is college style. It is throw the football to DJ for 5 yards. It is little screen passes to Najee Harris on 3rd and forever. It's run the ball on first down every single time you come out of a break. You have the whole half to come out of the break, and you run the football and go nowhere. It's 3 and outs. It is not designed to go down the field, right? The only way I see it being designed to go down the field is when Kenny Pickett or Trubisky take over, and they're more of that no-huddle offense kind of style. That's when you can see it work. But otherwise, it is terrible.
And get it better.
Matt, when you guys have had opportunities to make big plays and haven't come up short, has it been more fundamentals, a lack of fundamentals and execution, or has it been more about lack of understanding the concept and the scheme, how it applies to the defense that you're facing?
Yeah, I'm not going to. I think there's a multitude of reasons, right? Obviously,
there's no confidence in his answer at all.
So we in there we talk about why it is, and we got to make sure we are direct and hear it, and we get it fixed. So that's it.
He should just fucking say it's him. That's what he should be fucking saying. The Matt Canada offense should come out and say, you know what? It's fucking me. My playbook sucks. My system sucks. The players are trying their hardest. The players are skillful. He should just come out and say, what I'm doing is wrong. And actually, I'm getting a free ride in the NFL and I suck. That would make me fucking much more happier than listening to him dribble on and give non-competent answers what he's saying.
Multitude of things.
I know you know this comes with the territory. There's a lot of talk about speculation this time, bye weeks, changes that may happen, that may not happen. If you had assurances that you'll still be in the same position.
Question is, do you have a reassurance that you'll still be in the same position?
I'm just working every day. I feel.
I could already tell that the shrug in his voice. I'm just working every day. There's no confidence in your vocab. I'm just working every day. Doesn't matter if you're working every day. People work every day all their lives. It doesn't mean they're good at their job. This guy is not good at his job, right? This answer is beyond ridiculous.
Feel pretty good about doing my job and getting this thing where we want it to be.
Doing my job, but I'm getting this thing where I want it to be. What is getting this thing where you want it to be 2-6, and relying on the Bengals to miss a kick, and getting this thing to where it needs to be was relying on our defense to hold out the game against the Bucs. We could easily be 0-8, easily be 0-8 right now. If the Bengals win that game, the Bucs come back, could easily be 0-8. This guy can't score points, and how do you win games in the NFL? You need to score points. He doesn't put his players in the best position to go and score points.
It fixed. That's what I'm doing. So I'm not privy to those. I commented last week. I'm not naive. My job is I call the plays, and if they don't work,
he calls the plays.
Everybody can talk about why they don't work. So
if they don't work, everyone can talk about why they don't work. We know why they don't work. It's because of you.
That's all. I'm focusing on our players, and we got to win some games.
Is play calling that exclusive function right now for you, or is there a way to utilize other people involved with that, or has that been discussed?
No, we've got a system. We utilize everybody on our staff all the time. I mean, we got coaches who their areas of expertise are used. Certain guys are in charge of third down, goal line, red zone. So we're all working at that. We just have to find.
I kind of doubt it. I get this feeling that Matt Canada has the overall scheme of things, that it's his way or the highway. He controls 90-odd% of it. The offensive line guys like Pat Meyer also need to do a better job. Offensive line is atrocious too. Right, those guys need to do a better job coaching and leading. Okay, guys like Pat Meyer, they have to get their team ready, but they don't. So I think overall, it lands on Matt Canada being about 90% of the control. You can tell because the way he's so happy when he gets the touchdown.
A way to get a little bit better, win some games.
What's going to be the most important thing for Kenny to work on throughout this bye week?
I think timing with his guys, fundamentals. He continuing to get that with the reps he hasn't been with. So
I've never met a coach who speaks with such lack of confidence ever.
Just working through that, seeing it. He's getting better every day. He'll continue to work. Nobody's working harder than Kenny.
What do you feel like is the thing that for him, is maybe showing up like the way you expected to, and maybe what is like things that you think he can realistically improve? Everyone thinks that the first round pick is going to be great. I think what are some realistic improvements that you think you could see?
I think he's going to improvement is taking mistakes off a tape that occurred prior to that, right? Obviously, coach says it all the time. Great play is seeing the mistakes before they happen.
I agree with that. If you want to improve, you go back and look at the tape, and what you did wrong and trying to fix that. Okay, I'm almost done. Guys, it's almost done. This thing is just stupid.
Not letting them happen. Good plays, when we see those things, are good coaching. Okay, good or good way, either way.
Sorry for the long video, but I had to express what I go through listening to the old Matt Canada interview. He's incompetent. He shouldn't have a job, but we have him for the next 9 games. 9 games. Guys, if you like my content, if you like my long form content, hit that sub, hit that like, write some comments below. Help me with the algorithm. Help me increase my subs. I'm on the road to 1,000. I'm so close to 1,000. I'm super frustrated at this Matt Canada offense. I can't stand it. I know that there's responsibilities on the players. There really is. There's responsibility on the players. But ultimately, the foundational thing it comes down to is that playbook and the schematics, what goes around that, and what Matt Canada calls that's what's the focus right now to me. The skills and stuff like that for the players comes after that. You can't expect them to go and do a great job if you put him in a situation where a 3rd and 14, you're throwing a screen to get 2 yards. You can't do it. I'll see you later.